I inherited this device from a family member. It features three numbered, non-magnetic tips and a flexible handle. The needle is capable of rotation and has a wire attached to its tip, allowing it to follow metal objects and magnets. The entire device is constructed from metal, with the exception of the transparent ring surrounding the indicator needle, which appears to be filled with metallic beads. Additionally, the device includes several adjustment screws designed for centering the needle. The needle rotates around a dial marked in 60 increments, with numbers indicated every 5 increments, 5, 10, 15, etc. Both the handle and the three tips are threaded and can be removed from the central dial component. Anyone know what this is? It's miner's compass, and apparently doesn't actually do anything whatsoever. I found ammunition with a peculiar, shiny tip on a glacier in Switzerland, possibly 30 millimeters in caliber. I am concerned about whether it is inert, as I was unable to identify any markings on it. I attempted to research 30 millimeter Swiss ammunition, but found no matches. A colleague of mine has it on display and would like to ascertain its safety. Any idea what it could be? This is a projectile from the 35 by 228 millimeter Oerlikon Flab Kun 63/90, same gun that is on the Flugabwehr Kanonenpanzer Gepard. From the fact it has an aluminium dummy fuse, the large cutouts make it obvious there is not enough space for the fuse mechanism, and it looked like it was painted bluish-gray. That makes it an Übungsgranat, a target practice shot. Be advised that doesn't mean it's inert. This was found at the Željava Air Base, inside a Cold War-era aircraft bunker in Croatia. It consists of fiberglass-like strands arranged in circular sections, separated by cardboard wadding. Each section is about 1.5 centimeters tall and has a similar diameter. Anyone know what this is? During World War II, chaff, also known as window, emerged as a countermeasure against enemy radar. British researchers in 1937, including Gerald Touch, Robert Watson Watt, and R.V. Jones, proposed the idea of using lengths of wire suspended from balloons or parachutes to overwhelm radar systems with false echoes. Subsequently, they considered using pieces of metal foil falling through the air for the same purpose. In early 1942, Joan Curran, a researcher at the Telecommunications Research Establishment, further investigated this concept. She developed a plan to release packets of aluminum strips from aircraft to create a cloud of false echoes, confusing enemy detection systems. One early concept involved using sheets the size of notebook pages, which could also double as propaganda leaflets when printed. However, it was discovered that the most effective version consisted of strips of black paper backed with aluminum foil, packed into bundles weighing 1 pound each. The systems utilize small aluminum strips, or wires, cut to half the wavelength of the target radar, causing them to resonate and re-radiate radar waves. This made it challenging for opposing defenses to differentiate between the aircraft and the chaff echoes. Chaff was also independently developed in the United States by astronomer Fred Whipple and Navy engineer Merwin Bly. Whipple presented the idea to the collaborating Air Force. In the Pacific Theater, Japanese Navy Lieutenant Commander Sudo Hajime invented a Japanese version called Gimenshi, or deceiving paper. I found this in an older relative's attic. Looks like a spoon-washed scoop made of brass circle is 3 inches diameter, with a Halloween-style cat and hook port on top. I've searched across many corners of the internet to try to identify this thing, and have asked people in my family who may have interacted with it, to no avail. Any idea what it could be? It's tea caddy spoon. I found this item among older agricultural equipment and suspect it may be related to Army tent components. It is made of solid brass, measuring 4.5 inches in length, with an outer diameter of 1.375 inches and an inner diameter of 1.125 inches, featuring a hook hole of 0.6 inches. One side has a dimple, opposite a 1/8 inch set screw hole. There appears to be some small debris inside, which resembles a wooden pole. The text on the item reads, "Trojan Sure Grip." Anyone know what this is? It's wood loading pole C. Hook made for explosives, made of hard, durable bronze for added strength and to provide non-sparking material. I inherited this object from my grandfather. It features a compass-like dial at its center, with a freely moving arrow and markings up to 60. Surrounding it is a clear tube filled with gold fleck dust. One side contains a large spring, while the opposite side has a fixed post, both of which can be unscrewed. A large pair of tweezers can be attached to the spring side of the apparatus. Initially, I considered it might be a scale of some kind. However, the spring does not influence the needle's movement. Additionally, the ends of the tweezers are cut off squarely rather than coming to a point. Any ideas? This is called a Spanish dip needle. They first showed up prior to 1900, possibly during the Klondike Rush. The stuff in the glass vial is invariably pyrite, passed off as real gold. It is a highly scientific treasure finder method, albeit undiscovered science, of course. But not to worry. Someday science will come along and explain how it finds treasure. I bought this item at a thrift store. It is a very old leather cylindrical container with a section middle, a handle on the side, and a strap that likely goes over the top. The bottom and a side buckle, fastener, are missing. It appears to have been repaired at some point, as the handle seems newer than the rest of the container. I suspect it may have functioned as an arrow quiver, although I am not an archer. Others have speculated that it could have held some type of weapon, but the strap's design suggests it was not intended as a holster. The absence of the bottom leaves me uncertain about its original appearance. Additionally, it features an intriguing leaf-like pattern. Anyone know what this is? It's clarinet case. The clarinet is a single-reed musical instrument in the woodwind family, with a nearly cylindrical bore and a flared bell. German instrument maker Johann Christoph Denner is generally credited with inventing the clarinet sometime around 1700 by adding a register key to the chalumeau, an earlier single-reed instrument. Over time, additional keywork and airtight pads were added to improve the tone and playability. Today, the clarinet is a standard fixture of the orchestra and concert band and is used in classical music, military bands, klezmer, jazz, and other styles. I found it buried in the ground using a metal detector near some train tracks. It is approximately the size of a large hand, yet still quite heavy. I suspect it may be iron, although I am not certain. Any idea what it could be? It's an old stove door.